Honor guard, attention! Mark time, march! Forward, march! Honor guard, halt! Lift, face! Present, off!
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Order, arms! Colors, pose! Honor guard, left, face! Forward, march!
Good morning, and thank you to the MGH Police and Security Color Guard for that meaningful opening to our virtual Veterans Day event. I am Jovita Thomas Williams, Senior Vice President of Human Resources, and I want to welcome you to our annual Veterans Day celebration. It is wonderful to be a part of this virtual celebration and to have the chance to thank you, our employee veterans or active duty service members, for your service to our country. I also want to take a moment to honor not only our veterans and active service members, but also the families of those who are currently serving. Being in the military or a member of a military family does not come without sacrifice. Uncertainty, fear, time away from loved ones are constant. And upon return, many experience stress as they try to reintegrate into the lives they left here at home. I understand these sacrifices because I have many members of my family who are veterans or are actively serving, including my father, brothers, nieces, and nephews in the Army, Navy, and Air Force. Today's event is a small token of the hospital's appreciation for the sacrifices you and your families have made to protect the freedom we enjoy here in the United States. We recognize that the freedoms we exhibit in our daily lives are a direct result of your commitment, your love, and dedication to this country. Throughout today's celebration, we will show images of our MGH employee active duty and veteran service members. These same images are being displayed all week on the digital flat screen displays here at the main campus. We hope when you see them, you will take a moment to thank these individuals and others for their service. Let me be one of many to say thank you for your service. Now, I would like to introduce Dr. David Brown, our president of Massachusetts General Hospital. David?
Thank you, Jovita. I'm very happy to be here, honoring our veterans and our MGH colleagues who have loved ones on active duty serving our great country. These individuals have made countless contributions on our behalf. 103 years ago, at the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month of 1918, the hostilities of World War I were formally ended. November 11th became Armistice Day, a day to remember the official signing of the armistice with Germany, the Allies' last remaining opponent. In 1954, it was renamed Veterans Day, a day to celebrate those who serve in the armed forces, both past and present. Years later, Veterans Day continues to be a revered celebration across our country and here at MGH. We mark this occasion by taking the opportunity to say thank you to those who served, to those who are currently serving, and to those who are keeping things going at home while their loved ones are deployed. One day of thank you is not nearly enough, but we hope that today and every day you feel the support and appreciation the MGH community is sending your way. On behalf of all of us, thank you for your service and everything you bring to our hospital community. And now I have the pleasure of introducing Brigadier General Jack Hammond. During his distinguished 30-year military career in the U.S. Army, General Hammond commanded troops at the platoon, troop, battalion, and brigade level, both at home and abroad, becoming the first Massachusetts officer to achieve the rank of general officer in a combat theater since World War II. General Hammond is the executive director of Home Base, a Red Sox Foundation and Massachusetts General Hospital program that is dedicated to healing the invisible wounds of war affecting service members, veterans, and their families, including post-traumatic stress and traumatic brain injury. After a brief deployment to Afghanistan in 2002, General Hammond deployed to Iraq in 2003 with the invasion force and simultaneously commanded 2 battalions, Task Force Patriot in Balad, performing stability and security operations, and Task Force Enforcer in Fallujah, conducting counterinsurgents operations. In Kabul, Afghanistan, from 2011 to 2012, General Hammond commanded Task Force Yankee as the senior U.S. commander for the Kabul province. He was responsible for a multinational security force of 3,000 personnel, providing security and support for 11 U.S. installations and 10,000 coalition members, conducting counterinsurgency operations, humanitarian assistance, and area support missions. General Hammond is the recipient of numerous military awards, including the Distinguished Service Medal, the Legion of Merit with Oak Leaf Cluster, the Bronze Star Medal, Army Commendation Medal for Valor with Oak Leaf Cluster, the French Medal of National Defense, and the Bulgarian Medal of Mission Support. He's a Massachusetts native and holds a Bachelor of Science degree from the University of Massachusetts, a master's degree in healthcare marketing from Boston University, and was a National Security Fellow at Harvard University. He's also my good friend. Please join me in welcoming Brigadier General Jack Hammond.
Thank you, Dr. Brown, and good morning to all my fellow veterans. I want to take this opportunity to welcome you to today's event and just take a moment to acknowledge and recognize the fact that this has been a very difficult year for veterans, not just here in New England, Mass General, but across the country. A year of pandemic hibernation, the effects of it, the mental health challenges that we've seen across the country associated with the pandemic, combined with some of the challenges associated with the withdrawal from Afghanistan, have created a perfect storm of events for some of our veterans this year, leaving them feel as though their service may not have mattered as much, questioning some of the sacrifices they've made. I just want to take a moment to share with you that you succeeded in your mission. You have a lot to be proud of. Through our efforts, our 2 decades of war in Afghanistan and Iraq, we liberated over 50 million people that otherwise would have lived in these horrible, horrible circumstances. We were able to meet our country's mission to prevent a second 9/11 style attack from occurring here in the shores of the United States. And we were able to hunt down and find and hold accountable those responsible for those horrible attacks. So your missions were accomplished despite any challenges that take place now. There is others will now move forward and carry the ball and try and work some of the humanitarian crisis issues associated with the Afghan withdrawal. But you can hold your head high and know that you've done a good job. That said, we know that some veterans aren't doing well. And I would urge you to contact any veteran that's having some challenges associated with either the pandemic, their wartime experiences, or these latest developments, and have them get connected to care to receive the mental health care they may need to reclaim their life or to work through these challenges. They have a lot to be proud of. You all have a lot to be proud of. I'm proud of each and every one of you, and I want to thank you all for your service. I think together we can take care of our fellow veterans and make sure that we all have successful lives in our post-wartime experience. Now it's my great pleasure to welcome Dr. Marcella Del Carmen, the president of the Mass General PO.
Thank you, General Hammond. I'm so very happy to be here today to celebrate and thank our colleagues who not only give their best to our patients every day, but also have given their best in service to our country. I also want to thank and acknowledge the contributions of the families of our veterans. Their support makes our veterans service possible. On behalf of the physicians of the MGPO, thank you to all of our veterans for all your service and dedication. And now I'd like to introduce our keynote speaker, Captain Anne-Marie Leifer. She's actively deployed in the Air National Guard and is also a nurse practitioner working in the lung transplant surgery department at MGH. She was activated in January with the National Guard to serve the Commonwealth in the fight against COVID-19. She's going to speak to us about her mission both at MGH and in the National Guard. Thank you for joining us today, Captain Leifer.
My name's Anne-Marie Leifer. I'm a nurse practitioner here at Mass General. I work full-time. I currently work in the lung transplant surgery department. I've been there for 5 years. I also am a captain in the Air National Guard. I've been in for 17 years. The job that I hold now is I'm part of a emergency task response force. We work missions like the Boston Marathon, for example. I was activated in January of this year with the Air National Guard to serve the Commonwealth against the fight against COVID-19. The calling to my career here at Mass General really started with inspiration from my mom. My mom had a life-saving transplant, and through the amazing care that she received and her new lease on life, I was really inspired. And so that really inspired my position here at Mass General working lung transplant. My mom has also been supportive of me during my entire military career. She's seen me go away many times, including this deployment. And I was worried about her as a transplant patient during a pandemic. And this was my first time being away from my family for this long. I went to Iraq for 7 months, but now I've been gone for 8 months for this mission. So it's a lot. It's a lot to be away. We are expected, both in our civilian and our military careers, to perform seamlessly, rapidly, to the same skill level and expertise as our full-time counterparts, right? So we have to do training in the military so that when we join our active duty colleagues, we are performing to the same skill level. And that's what's super important in Iraq. Same for Mass General. I do a full-time week at Mass General, I go to drill, and then I go back to Mass General and I take call and I see my patients. And sometimes I kind of describe it as 3 circles. You have your professional civilian career, you have your military career, and then you have your personal life and your family. And sometimes trying to juggle all 3 can be a challenge. And sometimes one takes a priority temporarily. So when I first joined Mass General, I went from a small town in New York and I moved to Boston, learning how to do big time city medicine. And so my military position actually did take a back seat for a while. I had a very supportive commander that I've known for 17 plus years. And we balanced my training requirements of the military with the needs that of my new civilian position. Now we come to a pandemic, and so the military is once again calling me for service. We responded to various healthcare facilities, long-term care facilities, homeless shelters, even acute patients that were on ventilators. We were the subject experts, and so we found ourselves educating both patients and caregivers on how to wear PPE, innovating different ways to institute public health protocols with the limitations of their facility, how to cohort patients and isolate patients and try to minimize the spread of the disease. And then as patients improved, the needs of the mission changed, and we transitioned to a vaccination mission all over the Commonwealth in all different types of places. You know, we're talking about abandoned buildings and gymnasiums and community health centers and churches, and we were able to vaccinate them, educate them. I am fortunate that I have a team that is supportive and was able to carry on my mission here at Mass General while I got called away. Human Resources was very supportive of my time. I had an amazing surgeon that I worked for who was extremely supportive. I was able to seamlessly change hats, so to speak, from civilian nurse practitioner to military National Guard captain. Working in the military, we get a lot of praise and thanks for the mission that we do, but an unsung hero is our community, our family, and our employers. So in order to serve, the mission still has to be continued at home. Bills need to be paid, the kids have to be taken care of, patients to be seen at the hospital. And so when someone says, "Thank you for your service," we often reply with, "Thank you for your support." I have the privilege of serving for 2 organizations with a similar mission of improving the health of their community. And I can't think of a better representation of being activated with the National Guard, serving our own community during a pandemic. And once again, I appreciate the support from Mass General and the community.